Hey everyone, what's up? I'm Alex.
And this is your boy Mike.
And it's time for some Cake and Race. What is Cake and Race?
Cake and Race is where we talk about cake and awkward situations.
No, but we talk about race while eating cake.
While eating cake.
Because it helps kind of soften the conversation a bit.
And you know, we had a phrase for this back in the day.
We did.
Like eating cake and talking about awkward situations or something like that, but anyway.
Making awkward situations a little less awkward. Bringing people together through cake and race talk.
And race talk.
We're working on the tagline. Give us a second.
Yeah, give us...
We'll find it later.
Yeah, what do we have here today?
So here we got a nice little carrot cake because it's delicious and we both seem to like it.
Oh, we love carrot cake.
We love it. We used to do this. Like, we had this idea for a series called Cake and Race, and we talk about issues of the day and figured like this is a pretty good time to talk about things. We brought it back, and we're not gonna like delve on the issues that are happening like right now. This is gonna be more of a general video that will help us at least get the conversation started. That was part of it, right? No?
Yeah,
Maybe?
get
Get it started with cake, I don't know.
But awkward, yeah.
We're awkward.
Very awkward.
So let's think about the cake and get going.
Yes.
This is a nice carrot cake from a Korean cafe.
And known for their cakes.
Yeah. Two of them. Some of them. Some of them. We're not sponsored yet.
Mm-mm. Oh, but we will be. It's pretty good cake. I'm hungry.
Freaking love carrot cake. Alright. So we'll be eating this cake as we talk about it. Today's topic, maybe do something that is very awkward for a lot of white people to talk about, and it's actually questions that we have for black people that we have a black friend and we don't know if it's okay to ask, but Mike has graciously agreed to let me ask those questions here.
Yes, I am his black friend here. But he has multiple, but I'm the chosen one.
My closest black friend. Like one of my closest friends, I mean.
Oh yeah,
doesn't matter, right?
You were the best man in my wedding, so yeah.
Give me some of that cake. Okay. So, we're gonna start off the questions with some simple stuff,
Okay.
some fun stuff, and we should really swallow before I. Yeah. All right. So here's the first question I have for you. When speaking to you and our other American friends, is it black, Black American, or African American? What is the preferred terminology, specifically from a white guy like me?
That is a really good question because you run into two camps of people, really two camps of black people, right? Who would be like, first, I think people prefer Black American and African American over black.
Okay.
So I'll say that for now. So there goes that option, right? But I met people who were like, I've never been to Africa. I don't have as much of a connection. I go with Black American because I'm American, right?
Right.
And then there are people who are like, I really value my roots in Africa. They might have gotten a DNA test done. They kind of have an idea where their family's from. So then they'd be like, they stand as African American. I think you can never go wrong with African American. Like there's no way to mess that up at all. He won't be upset. But I actually think that Black Americans should be pretty safe as well.
But what if I'm talking to like someone? It's like, hey, it's my friend Mike. Which Mike? It's my Black American friend. Where'd you say black friend? We're in America now.
I would say Black American.
Black American.
I think you'd be fine. You'd be fine.
Okay.
You'd be fine.
Does it feel weird that many of your white friends are speaking up about Black American issues now? Oh, I wrote that right in the questions. Black American.
Oh wow! Rather than before.
So we're speaking up more now. You see it on social media. You see it on the streets. Is it weird all of a sudden that we're like finally talking about it?
I'm not gonna say it's weird, but I do think that it was a conversation that is overdue, that is late. I think I'm not gonna say there's more proof. There's always been proof, but I think for some people now there's like overwhelmingly more evident proof that now people feel more comfortable to speak up. I don't think it's awkward, but I do think it is like...
Where y'all been?
Exactly. Like, you should have already been doing this.
Gotcha.
Like, people were already dying. People were already trying to say this. And it's not like this has been happening for the past 8 years. This has been happening for like...
Past 400 years.
So then the question begs to differ. What made you want to say something now?
Oh, you're asking me?
No.
Next question. Oh, okay. So I don't know if you guys remember this film, but I was really curious. So, remember the Titans? Movie about a small farming community, black people, white people playing football. Kids, right? They're teenagers playing football together. Feel good ending. Was Remember the Titans just a movie for white people to feel better about race relations and the progress that we've made?
Who made that movie? It wasn't a Disney movie, was it? Was it Disney?
I don't remember. Could have been.
I don't know, but I do know the way that Remember the Titans was. It was it did kind of have a feel good feeling. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to spoil the movie for you at the end. You know, something happens in the very end of the movie.
Oh gosh,
right? That kind of threw me off. That threw me off big time. But I do think that the movie had this kind of like
spin towards to get white people okay with it.
Yeah, and then like because I mean it had some of the things that black people always struggled with, right? In it, but then it kind of was like it wasn't Jake Gyllenhaal. No, it wasn't Jake Gyllenhaal. Who was it? Ryan Gosling was in it and everything. Like they had some pretty good people in that movie, but like I think they made the movie lighthearted enough, even though it was kind of heavy, but it was lighthearted enough to where like people didn't feel too uncomfortable.
It's almost like a gateway movie to start the conversation.
Yeah. Then you have something like, well, obviously this is nothing near like Remember the Titans. I'm thinking like 4 Years a Slave. I mean, that's like...
Yeah, it's a little different than Remember the Titans.
Did I say 40 Years a Slave?
You said 4.
That is not the right title. What? 7, 8. I am so off right now in my movies. So, any of the other movies that they've...
Cut you some cake.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah.
Not 12 years?
It is 12 Years a Slave.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry.
I could be wrong too. Is it racist if I haven't seen Black Panther yet?
No, it's not. It's not. If you haven't seen Black Panther yet, you just haven't seen Black Panther yet. And I know you.
Yeah, I'm not good at watching Marvel movies.
So if there's anybody out there who hasn't seen Black Panther yet, if you haven't seen Black Panther yet, you just haven't seen Black Panther yet.
What if you've seen every other Marvel movie? And you stopped on that one?
Then you have to ask yourself why. Why did you stop on Black Panther? It was a good movie.
What is white savior complex to you? And do you think that's happening on social media right now?
White savior complex to me is when certain white people, or might not be certain white people as it is the idea or the feeling or the innate human desire to go and save things with the way that you see is right. And a lot of times the way that people see it's right is that of like a Western, established, whatever. And so like you'll see this a lot in countries in Africa. People will go and like volunteer and everything. And then they want to help, but then also I feel like they also have to prove that they help. They
post it online.
You have to post it online. And so then like you'll see like these ladies with like surrounded by a bunch of black children. And be like, I volunteered my time here in Tanzania.
Yeah.
Tanzania.
Yeah. Oh, man,
It's sorry, it's been a long week.
After 30 years a slave and...
Alright, it's been a long week. Let's go to Botswana. We'll say Botswana. My time in Botswana, just with these little children. Like, and it's...
Alright.
You know? Yeah. And then I think what's happening online right now, I think it's being flipped on its head. Because people are saying, like, we don't need it. Like, it's or either we don't need it or in the first place, it just was wrong. Like, and a lot of people, when you grow up with it, because even people that I know feel really uncomfortable now that things are getting like, and this might not have as much to do with white savior complex as the way that people grew up and always thought things were the way they were. And they were there for a certain reason. Yeah. And then now they're finding out that, oh, no, it was terrible to begin with. It just wasn't bad for you. Right. You know? And then, yeah, a lot of people are kind of fighting against that complex now. Oh,
Take your bite. When a black person sees my Facebook posts about Black Lives Matters, Black Matter, and it's only white people debating about the issue, when you see that, what goes through your mind? It's like the comments below are like, just a bunch of white people.
You're just looking at who to snipe. Like, it's a vibe you're like, all right, who am I going to get? Who am I going to be? You? It's going to be you? I think just a lot of people are just going to, like, fight over stuff because that's just Facebook. But then, like, that one person that's got to say something with that, well, actually, you know, like, that guy. Oh. It's like, well, you know, if you look at history, the facts say, when that person shows up, that's the one that really makes me upset or makes me angry, right? Yeah. And that's the one I normally go after. So a lot of times if it's people who are arguing for equality and stuff like that, like I will be more likely to stand, you know, with them, obviously, because I mean they're really trying to stand with me, unless they just say something wrong, even trying to do it. Because there are people out there who just still don't know what they're talking about. Like they want equality, but they still don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. So then you got to call them out.
But
But
you're all reading it. So to all my white friends who are in this comment section, just know y'all being watched. Y'all being watched.
Snipe y'all. When y'all see a red dot on your homepage, that's me. Gotcha.
Can white people, I've seen this in the protest, can white people throw up the black power fist, or is that weird?
I don't know. Because I think that answer has like multiple answers to it, right? And then there's so many things involved with that. I would like for white people, if you're going to throw up the power fist, understand what it is. I would even tell black people as well, if before you throw up the power fist, understand what it is and the history behind it and how people fought years ago. Like, I think like even during my mom's age when she was younger, with that power fist and fighting for black power, right? Yeah. It's good to kind of understand the history, understand why we do the things we do. And then I would say if you're with, you know, a bunch of black people and you're protesting, and yeah, everybody throws up the fist, show solidarity. But I mean, but again, that's just me. So that's just my 2 cents.
Hey, you should eat the carrot. It's the best part.
Oh yeah.
Keep that on there.
Oh, fake carrot?
The fake carrot.
Oh, fake carrot. It's like a Looney Tune carrot.
Do you or did you ever feel the desire to discuss issues of race with your white friends, but you resisted that desire to avoid an awkward situation if we wouldn't get it?
Yes. Multiple times in life. Not just these days. These days, I feel that there's more of a need for a black counselor.
Oh, yeah.
Because now people are saying dumb things. You know, people are asking questions, saying, how can I help? I'm going to finish chewing this. I might have carrot cake start coming out my mouth.
So a lot of people also are asking, they're sending messages to their black friends now, like, hey, are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Is this correct? Is this not correct? Which is kind of why I'm making this video, so you don't have to in some of the cases. Because Mike has graciously given answers to a bunch of white people out there who now don't have to jump into their friends' DMs to be like, hey, is this awkward thing okay?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I can't stand for, you know, every black person out there, but if you would like to take my answers as just like a guideline, like a baseline, or a rule of thumb, and be like, okay, he said this, so maybe I can just like adjust it based on how my friends feel, and then feel free to do that. Yeah. But I would definitely say that what's the question?
You've avoided talking about things because it could be awkward at dinner or something.
Yeah, I would say just throughout my life. I'll say throughout my life. I'll say through high school, growing up in Georgia, and some friends saying some things, and then like you kind of being like, you know, and then not knowing how to get into it because you don't want your friends to feel awkward, but at the same time, they kind of need to be schooled, but you're not too sure how to do it. And then nowadays, which I'm really proud of the protests that are happening and these people are having conversations, because a lot of other people out there who would be a little more timid to say something, they're now starting to feel more courage. Like they're getting the strength from like all these other people, and you can see people being encouraged online as well to help their friends understand, right? And so then now other people are like, yeah, I need to talk to my friends. Yeah, I need to say something. So definitely, yeah, both white friends, Asian friends as well, even some black friends. I'm just like,
all right, this one I don't know what answer I'm gonna get or if the question is even right.
I look forward to it.
Which word is the most accurate here?
Okay.
Generally speaking, in America, do black people, how do they feel about white people? Do black people hate, fear, distrust, respect, or no opinion about white people? If none of them apply, like how would you describe it?
I feel that you kind of said, in general, a few of the words you said in there was a giant mix of how people feel. Because I feel also it depends on the time, because right now, black people feel more anger, as well as more disappointment in some people. But then also we feel proud of some people who are standing up and being like, this is wrong. This has been wrong. I would say as a whole, like, and especially if you go by generations, right? Go back to my mom's generation. Black people were more afraid of whites and more angry at whites, right? Nowadays, it's just more of probably disappointed. I would say it's a mix between disappointment and anger. Especially, obviously you're gonna have your ones that are gonna stand with, and they're the ones who obviously are not gonna get that disappointment or that anger. But just like as a whole, I would say probably disappointment and anger. the fact that they still don't get it, or some people still don't get it.
Next question, near the end here. What is the most common microaggression that white people do to you or to black people in general that we as white people don't realize is rooted in racism? The most common microaggression that we don't realize we're doing wrong.
Oh, man.
And do I do it?
I don't know. Only because the people who I surrounded myself... Actually, no. I'm going to take what I just said back. The people who surround me are really good people. Or the ones who are white are really good people. That's why I go around them. That's why I'm surrounded by them. Microaggressions that I've seen, matter of fact, microaggressions I've seen in the last few months, probably, is black jokes.
People still do those, like, now?
Or, like, when people will be like, things you wouldn't even expect. Like, and then, of course, when you actually look at the people who make those jokes too, you're kind of like, you would say something like that. It would be like, oh, yeah, you know, you could do that, right? Because, you know, you're black. Or, like, it's stuff like that. Stuff like that. Or, like, oh, you can...
Play on racial stereotypes.
Yeah, and then, because I've had someone, I think it was around Christmas time, and it was here in Korea, and someone made that joke, and I was kind of like... And then the other person that was there, she was white, she was like, yeah, that's not cool. Like, I don't like that. I don't like what you just said. So she called him out on it because I kind of was already in the space. I was about to start, like, doing some DJing and stuff, so, like, my brain was very focused on what was happening, and then so that kind of came in out of left field, and I was like, yeah, I can't right now. Like, I can't right now, but she kind of handled it. It's awkward, isn't it? And you kind of don't know how to respond. Like, I mean, some people just respond in anger. Sometimes if you kind of, especially if you know the person, you're like, that's when I think it's disappointment. A lot of disappointment. It's like, did you really...
You pull that one out?
Did I just come out of your mouth? Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah. We're out of questions except for my last question.
Okay. So we have one more question.
But this one is like less, this is about me. This is between me and him.
Okay.
Is the title of this video, White Man Asks Awkward Questions to Black Friend, is that racist, inappropriate, both, or neither? White man asks awkward questions to black friend.
Neither, because all three is true. White man, black man, awkward questions. Yeah, so... No, that's true, but then also, like you kind of said, the purpose of the video is for you guys who might be white, don't know the answer to some of these questions, and luckily, I'm a black dude who's willing to tell you. So, that way at least you don't have to ask, but it'd be great if you asked, because I think your black friends would really appreciate it if you did ask.
But it's nice to have this, like, starting point, so you can skip the basics, and you can go into more in-depth questions, and maybe we'll do this again. Cake and Race, this is the series that we make a video once every 3 years on?
Yeah, so I mean, this is episode 3. So,
I think so.
We filmed episode 1 and 2 back to back, like literally the same day.
Years ago,
and episode 3.
Yeah.
Years later.
I'll try and post one of those up here. Here. All right. Mikole, Mike, thanks for joining.
Always, my friend.
Appreciate it. We'll finish this cake off camera.
We are.
And as always, talk about race with cake. That does sound right.
Race relations through awkward conversations.
Oh, that's a good one. That rhymes. Race relations through awkward conversations. Were we that smart back then?
I don't know. We were kids.
All right, everyone. We'll see you next time. Goodbye. Haseyo.